Hello, welcome to my channel. In this series of videos, I'm going to explain about the subject computer organization and microprocessor. In this subject, let's see all the 5 units which are there in the subject according to the jntuh. The subject comes in the second year, first semester. This is a very important subject, but will be linked with the subject in third year and maybe in fourth year too. But this subject is involved with the in the other subjects in third year. So let's see why the subject and why to use it and everything uh, in this series of videos. Let's get back to the lesson. In the first unit, we are the syllabus has divided into 3 parts: the digital computers and basic computer organization and designing, and microprogrammed control. In these 3 units, and there are subtopics in it. Sorry, in the first unit, there are three topics and there are subtopics in each topic. So let's see the first thing, digital computers and introduction to it. Let's discuss about that. Coming to this digital computers, introduction to the digital computers. The digital computer is a system that performs various computational tasks, and digital computer is nothing but which computes computational tasks. Bit digital actually means a bit, that is binary number system that has 2 digits, zeros and ones. All the computers will be having the low level language that is of or that is also called as binary level language, that is of zeros and ones. And this each zero is called bit, and each one, that is 1 0 or 1 1, is called as bit. That is one digit is known as bit. The binary digit is called as a bit. Okay. Program. What is a program? We all know that sequence of instructions is known as program. And coming to the computer hardware, there are three parts. There are three parts in the computer hardware. That is central processing unit, random access memory, and input output processor. These three are very essential in our computer systems in order to performance of the computer. Computer organization. Now coming to the main part, our subject computer organization and microprocessor. Let's see the computer organization definition. Computer organization describes the designing and functioning of various parts in a computer. Organization, which organizes the computer, is known as computer organization in simple words. That can be elongated and said as designing and functioning of various functional parts will be described by the computer organization. Okay, now coming to the computer. Computer is an electronic machine, we all know that, which takes the input through the input devices and processes the input and gives the output, right? Next, computer design. What does mean by computer design? Computer design is concerned with the hardware design to the computer. Okay, computer design is nothing but the designing the architecture of hardware. That's nothing but designing the hardware, like what parts should be used in a computer and how to be used. That will be decided by the computer designing. And computer architecture. So computer organization and microprocessor is a subject for the information technology students, whereas the computer organization and architecture is a subject for the CSE students, computer science engineering students. So computer architecture definition is concerned with the structure and behavior of the computer. So the CSE people will be dealing with the computer organization and architecture, whereas organization deals with the designing and functioning, whereas architecture deals with the structure and behavior. Architecture is nothing but giving structure to something, right, and describing its behavior. That is known as architecture. And organization is nothing but which organizes, that is designing and functioning of the designing properties. Okay. Next, coming to the block diagram of digital computers. The digital computers block diagram. In that we'll be having divided into three major parts. That is the central processing unit, random access memory, and input output devices. These three as hardware we have already discussed here. Those will be used in the digital computers. Let's see how the block diagram is derived. See, the random access memory, RAM is nothing but random access memory, CPU, central processing unit, and input output devices. See, the information will be given to the computer through the input devices, and that input devices will send the information to the input output processor, and this input output processor will process the information what we have given and send it to the CPU, central processing unit. And the central processing unit will contain some registers, and the registers will be having the memory address of what we want. Suppose let me take an example. Suppose I want this computer organization and microprocessor unit-1 PDF. So I'll be giving input that selecting my file from the folder, and that will be sent to the input output processor. Immediately CPU will perform the like it will search for the address of it. Register will be searching the address of the file what we have selected, and that address will be linked to the that from that address the CPU will link it to the random access memory so that it can file can be accessed, and the information what we have asked will be retrieved in the random access memory, and that information will be sent to the CPU again, and that CPU will send it to the input output processor, and this input output processor will send back to the output devices, that is like monitors, so that I gave input through my mouse or through my keyboard. Then it has performed input output processor and it has sent it to the CPU, and CPU has retrieved it from random access memory, and random access memory has given back the result to the CPU, and CPU send it to the input output processor. Now the input output processor have to display the thing what I want, that is computer organization microprocessor unit-1 PDF, that will give it to me on the monitor, which is the output device. So this is the diagram for block diagram for the digital computers, how the operations will be performed. That's what it has been written. The CPU is manipulating data, a number of registers will be storing data, so that so CPU will be having the number of registers storing the data, which is the address of the file what we have required. And random access memory contains storage and instructions of data, all we know that RAM. Because CPU can access location in the memory, it consists the location at random access and retrieve the binary information which is fixed in an interval of time. So here one point we have to know that it will be having time periods of the file, so that only it can be stored in the binary form. Input output processor, we all know that electronic circuits are the input output processors. That is like mouse is an electronic device. Every part of the computer is an electronic device, and that are electronic circuits, right? Controlling and transferring information between the computers and the users or the outside worlds. The input output device is connected to the computer and the keyboard, printers, terminals, magnetic disk and drives, and other computational devices. This is about the digital computers, and let's see the further topics in coming up videos. Thank you.